Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be making a brick townhome. I've been watching a lot of How I Met Your Mother recently. For those of you who have never seen the show, or maybe have only seen a little bit of it, it's basically, I don't want to say it's like Friends, because it's not like Friends. It's about a group of friends who live in New York, and they all like hang out at this bar called McLaren's, and when they leave McLaren's, though, on top of that is like kind of like a walk-up apartment to one of the characters' houses. But to me, it kind of looks like a walk-up townhouse, and so I thought it was really pretty, and I was like, oh, I'm not recreating that one, but like the idea of the walk up into a townhouse is kind of where I got the idea for that part. But this building by no means looks like the building in that show at all, so don't get confused by that. But now that I'm kind of saying that, it kind of is like the show Friends, because it is, well, I guess there's 6 boys and 6 girls in that one. This one has 5 main characters, right? Yeah, 5 main characters, and then they all hang out. Well, I guess Friends, they hang out at a coffee shop, and then this show they hang out at a bar. But then there's like that one apartment that they all are always hanging out also in, and they have all these crazy stories and things that they do with each other. And then one of the couples is dating and then gets married, and then the other couple always has relationship problems that are on and off. Oh my gosh, this show is totally like Friends. This is like, the show's done now. It's been, I think it would have had like 8 or 9 seasons, and they stopped making seasons a while ago. So this is basically Friends. The show is Friends. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm just like realizing this now. Some of you might be like, what are you talking about? There's nothing like Friends. But from my perspective, it's like Friends. Anyways, so yeah. So what I was getting with that is that today we are building a brick townhouse with a walk-up. I really love when you go to the city and you see these beautiful like brick staircases up into like this gorgeous like brick townhome. So that's what we're building. And then, so we kind of just did like this weird kind of shape that I thought looked really cool. And then upstairs, we're doing kind of like an open balcony down into where you can see down into the front entrance, because I always really loved that kind of look too. And then we put a chandelier in there eventually. But yeah, now I'm just lighting up the place because it is so hard. I mean, like, oh, sorry, coughing. Like it's easy, it's like okay to build when there's like no lights, but for some reason you just like add a little bit of lights, and for some reason the grid just seems like easier to build on. I don't know why, even though technically you can see just fine without it, but also for y'all's sake, it's nicer if there's lights in there while you're watching me build. But yeah, so right now I'm just trying to figure out a type of like banister that I really like, because originally I was thinking I wanted to go with like a townhome that was probably more of like remodeled and like still had a lot of like the not antique, but like the older stairwell with like the older like railings and stuff. But then I kind of thought maybe I just wanted like a dark wood, and I didn't care as much about it. But yeah, so this one is, I want to say I did 3 bedrooms. Yeah, 3 bedrooms. Oh no, I do have one downstairs, but one of these is enough. So it's 3 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and then one of these rooms upstairs is going to be an office, because the person I'm envisioning living here like has a family like in town, but they also are like a freelance writer, and so they needed like just kind of like their own space, because when you live in the city and stuff, you're already kind of confined into like one area, because it's not like you don't have a backyard that you can go hang out in and all that kind of stuff. So I was trying to give them more space where he could just like go and kind of be on his own outside and whatnot. And so I put the master bedroom downstairs. I kind of gave him a smaller bathroom, but I figured they'd be okay, because, I mean, to me, Sims don't really need, like, grand bathrooms anyways, because they spend, like, an hour in there using the bathroom or going to the shower. Like, it's not like they spend that much time in there anyways. To me, I prefer to put square footage in either the bedrooms or the living spaces, because that's where I find my Sims spend most of their time. So why would I make a ginormous bathroom if they're not going to use the ginormous bathroom? But yeah, I do think I end up giving this townhouse a little bit of a backyard. Now I think of it, it's probably pretty big. Maybe I should make it smaller. I don't know. We'll think about that for part 2. But I end up making it a little bit kind of more like a backyard you would see in the city. So like there's a little bit of grass space, and then there's kind of like the stone walkway area and everything too. But yeah, so then right here we're trying to figure out a good like, I guess a good sized light fixture. And there was a lot of them that I really liked, but some of them just seemed like they were too grand, or they didn't match kind of the aesthetic that I was trying to go with. And then I kind of liked this one, but in the white, but then at the same time, I kind of thought it was too grand towards the end, and I thought it was weird, so I ended up not going with it. Sorry if you can hear my dog whining in the background. She's upset because I took her ball away earlier today because she was squeaking on it like crazy. And so now she just noticed that it's on top of the counter, and she's like she just noticed it. So now she's like all upset that it's up there and she can't get it, even though she hasn't had it all day. So I don't even know why she's thinking about it now. But yeah, anyway, so we just ended up going with that simple little light fixture because I kind of thought it went really well with the aesthetic of the apartment, kind of being like an older townhome, but still like nicer. And then right now I'm also just shrinking the light fixtures because these are the best like lights you can get, or if you don't want like kind of light fixtures and fancy things like that, because they produce the most light, but they're also like just like these random big circles in your view if you just leave them that size. So something I've been doing recently is shrinking them down so that way they don't interfere as much while I'm trying to build and I'm looking at them. So yeah, now it looks a little better. But yeah, so now we're just putting it, now that we've kind of done the structure and everything, we're just putting in doors and whatnot. And before, it's kind of crazy because normally I always do the outside landscaping and everything before I go into the floor plan inside. But for some reason on this day, I was really interested in how I was going to make this floor plan work. And so I actually did the inside first instead of doing the outside next. Doors that we got with, was it Strangerville? It's either Strangerville. No, yeah, it's Strangerville. I think these are like probably the best doors that we have in the entire game. Oh, I guess I moved on to the roofing area. But anyways, I think these are probably the best doors that we have in the entire game. And it's so funny to me that they came with the most random pack ever to just have like a really great like door frames. And there was like, there was like 3, 4, maybe 5 different types of the door. I don't know. They're just like perfect. And they're absolutely the kind of like doors that you would see in some type of like townhouse. Oh, I do really love this brick. Is this the brick I decided to go with? I think it is, yeah. I struggled for a long time with what brick I wanted to go with, and I kind of just flipped back and forth about what I liked. And so I think there's a time when I go back in and I try to think if I want more of the red brick or more of the brown brick. And I end up going with the brown brick because I think it looks the most traditional with the kind of townhouse New Yorker vibe that I was going with. Not to say that there isn't other colored townhouses, but for me, I thought that one was really pretty. And then I really love this door because it has like the stained glass going all the way around the frame. But it didn't really work out necessarily to what I kind of wanted for the building's aesthetic. And so then I was like, oh, well, maybe if I change some of the brick patterns, it will look a little better. But I couldn't, I really liked the brown brick and I just didn't like that door that I chose. And so I ended up going with, I think that door that I just had out. Yeah. I ended up going with this with the darker wood, and I think it ends up really looking really pretty. Once I put like the windows and stuff, it doesn't look as dark. It kind of lightens it up once I kind of put that all together. But yeah, and then so now I'm just putting in all the little windows. I do the web. Yeah, these are weather pack, right? Yeah. It's not weather pack. What is it called? Seasons. Sorry, I was calling it the weather pack. But yeah, I end up doing the windows from Seasons, and I think these are probably my favorite types of windows because we like just like that one, and in Pets we got like a ton of windows. They're all like really great quality windows, and the one in Seasons aren't really that expensive. Like the windows are pretty cheap. And then I almost went with this giant window, but then I was like, if you're living in New York, which has like multi-story like apartments everywhere, would you really want a ginormous window that's like doesn't have any window? It's just like literally one giant window without any like railing or anything going down the middle that just like has open view into your apartment. Would you really want that? Because then I was thinking it's kind of like Friends when they're always looking at ugly naked guy's apartment and just like the fact that they can spy on him, because I was thinking of that, and then I was like, oh no, we shouldn't do that. Not to say that there's not a ton of windows in this apartment anyways, because there is a ton of windows in this apartment. But yeah, but I think I've said it before, I'm just like an over window doer. How would you call that? I obsess over windows. I love natural lighting, and so it translates when I like build all my buildings and stuff. I just want everything to have windows with it. Plus, like, then you don't need as many like floor lamps in your build and stuff unless it's like at nighttime. But usually the lights that I put in there cover for nighttime and everything, and it's fine. Then here we are trying to figure out a door, and I was trying to go with one of the doors that would match from the same pack from Strangerville, but it was the one that I really liked that seemed more like a back door was too small for that width size, so I ended up using the door from, is that Seasons? I want to say it's not that one. I don't end up with the Pets one. I think it's no, I think it's Seasons. It is. Oh, go my memory, man. Go my memory. Because I think it blends in really well with the windows anyways. Not to say that the one in the front door doesn't, but it all kind of makes it come together really nicely. But I thought it made a good little back door that still incorporated some windows. But yeah, so we're just finishing up Sorry. I swear it's only when I need to record that all of a sudden I start having to cough. And I think it's because I naturally talk fast. And so then when I'm like trying to talk and watch what's happening and everything, it just all goes in my head. I don't know. But yeah, so now we just kind of finished off the windows and we're adding in, I don't want to say they're like flower pot. I don't really know what you would call it, but it's kind of like a railing that's going to incorporate our kind of shrubbery and stuff to make it look a little bit prettier and whatnot for like the walk up. And then it's going to add a little bit of coverage for those downstairs windows so that people walking at like eye level of the street can't just like stare right into your living room and like what's happening. Kind of adds a little bit of extra would you say coverage? I don't know, kind of like blinds do, but a little extra coverage so it's a little less see-through. So I kind of really end up really liking those. But then I got sidetracked like I always do because I always go down rabbit holes and started doing the pavement, which I really like anyways too. But yeah, but I spent my day outside today, and I also did, so today is more, I don't know when I'm going to post this, but today is Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. And on Friday, I went outside to go tanning because me and my husband and our family are going on vacation very soon. And I'm like really pale right now. And I don't want my whole vacation to me being burned and miserable and stuff. And so I'm like forcing myself to go out for like 2 hours a day just to get like a good base tan. That way when I go on vacation, I don't have to worry so much about, oh my gosh, I'm going to burn. We need to go inside kind of thing. Because I'd rather spend my time by the pool or the beach or whatever. And so yeah, but so in order to do that though, I need to be a little tan. So, but on Friday I went out and I was there by myself because it was a Friday and we were off for school, but nobody else was off because it was a random Friday. And so I was able to put like the spray sunscreen on the front half of my body, but the back half of my body, obviously I don't have magic arms and can't reach behind me. And so I wasn't able to put sunscreen there. And for the first hour, I just have like a pool floaty. So I was just laying on the pool, like on my back with my like looking up at the sky. And so I wasn't getting really tan or anything. And I was in there for about an hour. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just get out and then lay on my stomach for like 30 minutes and then go inside because it was getting hot and I'd already been out there for too long. I kid you not, I maybe laid on my stomach for, I want to say max like 35 minutes. It was not that long. Max 35 minutes. And I like walk inside to my apartment and my entire back looks like a tomato. It was so bad. And it's still pretty bad. So that happened Friday. Today is like Sunday night. So it's been about 2 days now. And it is still so red. And so then today my mom and me went and laid out again because I was like, okay, well, I didn't even get really sun on my like front half of my body. So I need to do that. And so literally the whole time we were out there today, I like was facing the front side of my body towards the sun the entire time. So that way like no part of the back side of my body could get burned again. But the place where I live has in the pool, they have these chairs that like sit in the shallow end. So that way you can like sit in a chair and be in the water at the same time. And the chair is like a weave thing. And so like when you're sitting there and like my bathing suit was like half wet along with my back. And so it would stick to the back of the weave chair. And then like when I wanted to get up to go like deeper into the water or something, I'd have to like slowly pull my back up off of the weave because it was like half attached like to the weave part. And so it was like almost like it was pulling my burned skin. And it was the worst feeling in the entire world. But the good news is that I'm not any more burned on my back because I did a really good job of facing it away from the sun the entire time we were out there. So, but my front side is more tan now, so that is good. I will keep you updated on my versions of tan. I'm really not that tan though right now. So I'm saying, it makes it sound like I'm tan. I'm not. I'm still very pale. But yeah, so we finished, we kind of finished up the front and the back bush kind of areas around the front windows and the back windows. The back side of the house also kind of looks like the front entrance of the house, but I kind of wanted this to almost be kind of symmetrical to the front and back. And I still think it looks really great. And so then this is that little tiny concrete area I was talking about that I think I kind of make just kind of like a nice picnic seated area for whoever lives here to kind of chill out in. And then I kind of encase like the backyard. And the backyard looks really big here. But if you like think about this lot size, I want to say that this is a 30 by 20 lot. Yeah, which is not a very big lot to begin with. So when I'm like doing this, like the backyard right now seems really big, but it's actually not that big. And because I think all we can fit in the actual grass area is we do like a tree in that big open area, and then we put like a monkey bar area in there too, and that's literally all that fits in there. I mean, really, if I hadn't put that tree there, we could probably put a really, 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 really tiny pool, but it wouldn't make sense to have a pool in the middle of the city for a townhouse. I've never seen anything like that happen. So yeah, and so we're just putting the little tree with the little flowers, and then I make kind of a little nice like chill sitting area off in the corner that people could come out and kind of get some sun while they're just sitting by the backyard. Maybe their kid is playing on the monkey bars. I was really good at the monkey bars when I was a kid, like in school. But for like nowadays, like I don't think people realize how strong children are. I mean, also children are like tiny, so they don't have that much strength to hold up anything anyways. But like when you're a kid, like you were like almost like super strong compared to like your body size, and the fact that you can just like hang from like bars like that and pull yourself back and forth is like really good. And so like as an adult, like it's actually extremely hard to do the monkey bars because like you're having to like move your entire weight back and forth and stuff, and it's not actually a really good, unless you're like somebody who like has like really good upper body strength. Obviously you're going to be good at the monkey bars, but if you're just like an average person who doesn't have amazingly upper body strength or anything like that, then obviously it's going to be a lot harder. But yeah, so more respect to kids who can do the monkey bars. But yeah, so then we just kind of finished off the backyard right there, and we're moving into, I ended up putting that same, it's not tiling, it's concrete, stone. Yeah, that same stonework on the roof, so it kind of just blended in throughout. And then I'm putting this trim on here, which is super annoying that if there's stairs, it won't put trim there. And to me, that really doesn't make sense because the stairs are inside and the trim is outside. So I don't understand how those two things would ever affect each other. But because they did, I like tried to take the stairs out and then automatically puts it there. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I put the stairs back in and then it ends up taking it away. And I was so upset about it. So I end up putting, I size up some of the vines that we have in the outdoor like wall object things. I size up some of the vines and I put it over the kind of that patched up area. So it almost looks like the vines are covering what part of the, because I was going to go with like some type of balcony thing first, but then I was like, no. So they end up covering where it technically would be. So if you hadn't seen this part of the video, you would never know that technically there's nothing under there because it makes it kind of look like it all blends in, and that vines are just kind of growing on the side of the building, which I also think kind of adds a nice like pretty aesthetic to the building itself. And actually things it ends up looking really good. So I think it was a good idea no matter what. So it looks really pretty. But yeah, so then we just kind of add some trees and stuff to the front yard just to kind of even everything out and make it look all cohesive and super pretty. And of course more bushes. I've never had such a like large foundation as what I have here, and I didn't really like any of the foundation paints. So I kind of just picked the one that I like the best, which wasn't that great to begin with, but I just picked the one I liked. Oh, sorry, cough. I just picked the one I like the best, and so I tried to cover it as much as possible in the front and the backyard. But yeah. And then now I'm just adding some rocks in there to kind of decorate around the tree, just to add a little bit of aesthetic to it. And then I realized I put the tree too far back, and so I end up having to move it forward and then move all the rocks that I just placed forward. And then at this point, my poor laptop is getting tired, and it was like starting to glitch a little bit. And I was like, oh, you just need to come out of the sun, don't you? Not out of the sun, but like stop working so hard. But yeah. So yeah, this is just me moving it now forward because I realized it was all too far back. But yeah, so if you guys like this video, you should definitely give it a thumbs up so you can see more content like this. So that I know so far I've seen that most people seem to like speed builds the best, and so I'm trying to put more and more of those out there. But yeah, so if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content, and I can't wait to see y'all soon. Bye!